Thank you, Mayor and council members. My name is Robert Scher. I'm a resident of Upper Greenlaw, 3805 North Zurich Street in Flagstaff, and I'm a professor of criminology and criminal justice at NAU. I strongly urge council to vote against rezoning. Economic development must proceed from an ethic of care, where economic justice is not a zero-sum proposition. Economic justice is not a question of whether to have development or not, but rather, it mandates that we compassionately plan to care for our poor and vulnerable, while enhancing the quality of life for all residents in an ecologically sustainable way. We learned earlier this afternoon from the Arizona Daily Sun that Landmark Properties has attempted to silence one of our council members by filing a libel suit against her. This kind of cynical, corporate, adversarial affront to democratic process is precisely what this community does not need, and it should be repudiated by council publicly and this community. We will not tolerate the abuse of our deliberative process by outside money. Instead, I urge council to adopt an approach to economic development that protects its most vulnerable citizens. Second, I urge City Council to reject the specious neoliberal growth rhetoric. We've heard tons of it tonight. We know that those who will be displaced by a decision to rezone will not benefit from the new development. By the way, in both the city's plan and this conversation, those voices of the community members directly involved were nowhere to be found. Consistent with NAU's strategic plan, the growth of NAU must be ecologically sustainable, and despite the Freudian slip, NAU is not ASU. NAU and NAU surrogates must avoid the temptation of gobbling up available city land in an effort to satisfy growth. NAU owns property that could be used to develop new student housing. This land should be used. Displacing poor people to house NAU students when land is available to do this without displacing them exposes the community be damned inhumanity of this proposal. This need not be a zero-sum game.
Mr. Scher, I've got to ask you to wrap it up.
It's on its way. At our best, Flagstaff exudes love and compassion and a welcoming spirit for all. Rezoning and displacing communities that house the poor leads to a hollowing out of our spiritual and ethical core, and when that's gone, what's left?
To Newstad and then Jesse Dominguez.